The sun beat down on the ancient city of Isla Ife, casting a warm glow over the bustling streets. Princess Morenike, daughter of Oba Adedai and Olori Adebisi, stepped out of the sleek black car, her eyes scanning the familiar landscape. She had returned home after years abroad, studying and soaking up the world beyond Nigeria's borders. The thought of reuniting with her family and reconnecting with her roots filled her with excitement. As she entered the palace, the sound of drums and chanting greeted her, accompanied by the sweet scent of incense and fragrant flowers. Her parents, resplendent in their royal regalia, welcomed her with open arms. Oba Adai's eyes sparkled with pride, while Olori Adebisi's warm smile hid a hint of concern. "Our beloved daughter is home," she whispered, embracing Morenike tightly. Later that evening, at the grand reception in her honor, Morenike's gaze wandered across the sea of familiar faces. She spotted Lucas Olawale, a childhood friend who had grown into a handsome young man. Their eyes locked, and a spark of recognition flashed between them. As they exchanged warm smiles, Morenike felt a flutter in her chest. Prince Tunde Alexander, son of Oba Adai's brother, Prince Oidel, approached Morenike with a charming smile. "Welcome back, Princess. I've missed you." His words dripped with sincerity, but Morenike sensed an undercurrent of calculation. She exchanged polite conversation with Prince Tunde, aware of Lucas watching from across the room. As the night wore on, Morenike found herself drawn to Lucas's easygoing nature and genuine warmth. They stole away to the palace gardens, reminiscing about old times and sharing laughter. Under the starry sky, Morenike felt a connection with Lucas she couldn't ignore. But as they strolled back to the reception, Olori Adebisi's words echoed in Morenike's mind. "Remember your royal duties, my daughter. Your heart must belong to the kingdom, not to any man." Morenike's heart wrestled with the weight of responsibility and the thrill of newfound feelings. Little did she know her return home would set off a chain of events that would change the course of her life forever. As the night wore on, Morenike couldn't shake off the feeling that Lucas was the only one who truly understood her. They exchanged numbers, and he promised to show her around Life's hidden gems. The next morning, Morenike woke up to the sound of her mother's gentle knocking. Olori Adebisi entered with a warm smile. "My dear, I trust you had a good night's rest?" Morenike nodded, still feeling the excitement of her reunion with Lucas. "Good," Olori Adebisi continued. "Today we have a traditional ceremony to attend. Prince Tunde will be joining us. It's essential you make a good impression." Morenike's heart sank. She knew her mother was hinting at Prince Tunde's suitability as a future husband. At the ceremony, Morenike played her role perfectly, donning her traditional attire and participating in the rituals. Prince Tunde remained by her side, charming and attentive, but Morenike's thoughts drifted to Lucas, wondering what he was doing at that moment. After the ceremony, Lucas texted her, "Meet me at the Ope Oranmian shrine at sunset." Morenike's heart skipped a beat. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Morenike snuck away to meet Lucas. They walked hand in hand, exploring the ancient shrine's secrets. "Morenike, I've missed you so much," Lucas whispered, his eyes locked on hers. Morenike's pulse quickened. "I've missed you too, Lucas." Their lips almost touched when the sound of rustling leaves interrupted them. Prince Tunde emerged from the shadows, his eyes narrowed. "Princess, your parents will not approve of this," Prince Tunde warned, his voice dripping with malice. Morenike stood tall, her heart pounding. "This is none of your concern, Prince Tunde." The tension was palpable as Lucas stepped forward, his fists clenched. "Leave her alone, Tunde," Lucas growled. Prince Tunde smirked before disappearing into the night. Morenike's world was about to get complicated. As Prince Tunde vanished into the darkness, Morenike felt a shiver run down her spine. Lucas's protective gesture had ignited a spark within her. "Let's get out of here," Lucas said, offering his hand. Morenike took it, and they walked in silence, the only sound being the crickets and the distant drums from the palace. "Lucas, what's going on?" Morenike asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know, but I don't trust Prince Tunde," Lucas replied, his eyes scanning the surroundings. As they approached the palace, Morenike's parents were waiting, their faces stern. "Morenike, we need to talk," Oba Adai said, his voice firm. Inside the palace, Olori Adebisi confronted her. "You were seen with Lucas Olawale. What is the meaning of this?" Morenike stood tall. "Mother, Lucas is an old friend. We were just catching up." Olori Adebisi's expression softened. "Morenike, as a princess you have responsibilities, you can't afford distractions. Prince Tunde is a suitable match. He will secure our kingdom's future." Morenike's heart rebelled. "But mother, I know," Morenike Ba Adaya interrupted. "Your duty is to the kingdom. We'll discuss this further tomorrow." The night ended with Morenike feeling trapped and uncertain. The next morning, Morenike received a message from Lucas. "Meet me at the market. I have something important to show you." Morenike's heart skipped a beat. Morenike's heart racing, she made her way to the market, weaving through the vibrant stalls. She spotted Lucas amidst the colorful fabrics, his eyes locking onto hers. "Morenike has something to show you," Lucas said, leading her to a secluded alley. He revealed a beautiful handmade necklace with the Adimilola symbol, their kingdom's ancestral emblem. "I designed it for you," Lucas whispered, his fingers brushing against hers. Morenike's pulse quickened. "Lucas, this is beautiful." As they shared a tender moment, the sound of rustling fabrics announced Olori Adebisi's arrival. "Morenike, what's going on here?" Olori Adebisi demanded, her voice stern. Morenike stood tall. "Mother, Lucas and I are just friends." Olori Adebisi's gaze narrowed. "Lucas Olawale, you know the rules. A commoner cannot be involved with a princess." Lucas's jaw clenched. "With all due respect, Olori, my feelings for Morenike are genuine." Olori Adebisi's expression softened, but her words remained firm. "I understand, Lucas, but our traditions cannot be broken." "Morenike must end this friendship." Morenike's heart sank. That evening, Prince Tunde visited, bearing gifts and charming smiles. Morenike's parents beamed with approval. As Prince Tunde took Morenike's hand, she felt a surge of resentment. "Prince Tunde, I appreciate your interest, but Morenike, we can discuss our union later." Prince Tunde interrupted. "Tonight, let's focus on getting to know each other." Morenike's frustration grew. Suddenly, Lucas appeared at the doorway, his eyes locked on Morenike. "Lucas, what are you doing here?" Oba Adai asked, his voice firm. Lucas stood tall. "I've come to make my intentions clear. I love Morenike and I won't give up on her." The room fell silent. The air was thick with tension as Lucas's declaration hung in the balance. Oba Adai's face darkened, his voice thundering. "Lucas Olawale, you overstep your bounds. You're a commoner and Morenike is a princess. Your love is forbidden." Lucas stood firm, his eyes never leaving Morenike's. "With all due respect, Your Majesty, love knows no boundaries. I understand the risks, but I cannot deny my feelings." Olori Adebisi stepped forward, her voice laced with concern. "Lucas, think of the consequences. Our kingdom's traditions cannot be broken. You'll put Morenike in danger." Lucas's jaw clenched. "I'll protect her, Olori. I swear it." Morenike's heart swelled with emotion. No one had ever stood up for her like this. Prince Tunde's smile turned sinister. You're a fool, Lucas. You'll never be worthy of Morenike. Lucas's eyes flashed with anger, but he kept his cool. I don't need your approval, Prince Tunde. Morenike's heart is what matters. Morenike felt a surge of gratitude toward Lucas. She knew she had to make a choice. Enough, Oba Adai boomed. Lucas, leave now and never return. Lucas hesitated, his eyes locked on Morenike. She nodded almost imperceptibly, and he turned to leave. As he disappeared into the night, Morenike felt a piece of her heart go with him. In the days that followed, Morenike was trapped in a whirlwind of royal duties and Prince Tunde's relentless pursuit, but her thoughts remained with Lucas and the forbidden love that threatened to upend her world. One night, as she sat in her chambers, Morenike received a cryptic message: meet me at the old baobab tree at midnight. Come alone. The handwriting was unmistakable. Lucas. Morenike's heart skipped a beat as she read the message. She knew the risks, but her longing for Lucas proved irresistible. At midnight, Morenike slipped out of the palace, the moonlit path guiding her to the ancient baobab tree. Lucas waited, his eyes gleaming in the darkness. Morenike, I've been thinking, Lucas whispered, taking her hand. We can't continue like this. We must find a way to be together, no matter the cost. Morenike's pulse quickened. Lucas, I know it's dangerous, Lucas interrupted, his voice urgent, but I'd rather die than live without you. They hugged each other tightly. The world around them melted away. Suddenly, rustling leaves signaled an intruder. Prince Tunde emerged, his eyes blazing. You fools! Prince Tunde spat. You'll ruin everything. Lucas stepped forward, shielding Morenike. Leave her alone, Tunde. Prince Tunde sneered. You're nothing but a commoner. You'll never be worthy of Morenike. Morenike's anger flared. How dare you? Lucas is 10 times the man you'll ever be. Prince Tunde's face twisted. You'll regret this, Morenike. Mark my words. With that, he vanished into the night, leaving Morenike and Lucas entwined. Their love had just ignited a firestorm. The next morning, Oba Adai summoned Morenike. Morenike, Prince Tunde has requested an immediate engagement, Oba Adai announced, his face stern. The sun had barely risen over the palace, casting a golden glow over the intricately carved wooden pillars. Morenike, still reeling from her father's announcement, sought solace in the palace's sacred shrine. She knelt before the majestic statue of Oya, her heart heavy with turmoil. Oya, guide me, Morenike whispered, offering a prayer. Help me navigate these treacherous waters. As she rose, she noticed an elderly priestess, Ayafa, watching her with knowing eyes. Ayafa approached, her voice low and mysterious. Princess, the Orishas speak of your dilemma. Your heart belongs to Lucas, but duty calls you to Prince Tunde. Morenike's eyes widened. What do the gods advise? Ayafa's hands weaved intricate patterns in the air. Eshu, the messenger god, whispers secrets of your ancestors. Your love for Lucas holds the key to breaking ancient curses. Morenike's mind reeled. Curses? Ayafa nodded. The Adimilola dynasty's prosperity hinges on your choice. Choose wisely, princess. As Morenike pondered Ayafa's words, the sound of drums echoed through the palace, signaling the arrival of the kingdom's revered Babalawo, Awolowo. His eyes, aglow with spiritual insight, settled upon Morenike. Child of the throne, your destiny is entwined with the gods. Heed the call of Oya and Ishu. Morenike felt the weight of her decision. That evening, Prince Tunde arrived, his smile confident. Morenike, our engagement ceremony will unite our families and secure the kingdom's future. Morenike's heart rebelled. She knew she couldn't silence the whispers of her heart. Morenike's thoughts swirled like the whirlwind Oya was known to conjure. She couldn't shake off the feeling that her destiny lay elsewhere. Prince Tunde, Morenike began, her voice hesitant. Prince Tunde's smile faltered. Morenike, don't hesitate. Our union will bring prosperity to our kingdom. But Morenike's heart belonged to Lucas. Just then a commotion erupted outside. The palace guards rushed in, flustered. What's happening? Oba Adai demanded. A group of protesters, Your Majesty, a guard replied. They claim. They claim Lucas Olawale is the true heir to the throne. The room fell silent. Morenike's eyes locked onto Prince Tunde's, his face pale. What nonsense is this? Prince Tunde spat. Oba Adai's expression turned stern. Investigate these claims immediately. As the guards dispersed, Morenike felt the ground shifting beneath her feet. Could it be true? Was Lucas the rightful heir? Iafa's words echoed in her mind. Your love for Lucas holds the key to breaking ancient curses. Morenike knew she had to uncover the truth. That night she snuck out of the palace seeking answers. The moonlight streets led her to Awolowo's humble abode. Babalawo, what secrets do you hide? Morenike asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Awolowo's eyes gleamed in the darkness. The truth, princess, lies within the ancient texts. He handed her a worn leather book. As Morenike opened the book, the words danced before her eyes. The Chronicles of Ademilola. The story of her ancestors unfolded, revealing hidden secrets. Morenike's heart pounded. Lucas Olawale was indeed the rightful heir. Morenike's mind reeled as she devoured the ancient text, the words etched into her memory. Lucas Olawale, the commoner she loved, was the rightful heir to the throne. The revelation ignited a fire within her. She knew she had to act, but caution whispered warnings. Oba Adai's reaction would be fierce and Prince Tunde's ambition would stop at nothing. As she walked back to the palace, the moon casting eerie shadows, Morenike felt the weight of her decision. She couldn't betray her father, but neither could she deny Lucas his birthright. The thought of Lucas, unaware of his true identity, filled her with urgency. Upon entering the palace, Morenike was greeted by Olori Adebisi's concerned expression. Morenike, where have you been? Your father is frantic. Morenike took a deep breath. Mother, I need to speak with father. Alone. Olori Adebisi's eyes narrowed. What's going on, Morenike? But Morenike remained resolute. Oba Adai's face darkened as Morenike entered his chambers. Where were you? Morenike stood tall. Father, I know the truth about Lucas Olawale. Oba Adai's expression froze. What truth? He asked, his voice low and menacing. Morenike's heart pounded, but she pressed on. Lucas is the rightful heir to the throne. The ancient texts confirm it. Oba Adai's face transformed, a mixture of shock and fury. You dare to question my rule? He thundered. Morenike's resolve wavered, but she stood firm. Father, I seek justice, not rebellion. The air hung heavy with tension. The tension between Morenike and Oba Adai lingered, a palpable force that threatened to shatter the fragile peace. Morenike's revelation about Lucas's true identity had unleashed a storm, and the consequences were only beginning to unfold. Oba Adai's face, once warm and loving, now seemed chiseled from granite. You'll regret this, Morenike warned, his voice dripping with venom. The throne will never be yours, nor will it be Lucas's. As the days passed, the palace became a battleground. Prince Tunde, sensing weakness, intensified his pursuit of Morenike. Lucas, unaware of his newfound status, remained focused on winning Morenike's heart, but ancient rivalries, long dormant, began to stir. The Ajibu Kingdom. Historical enemies of the Adimilola dynasty saw Lucas's claim as an opportunity to strike. In the shadows, Ayafa, the wise priestess, watched the unfolding drama. "The gods are restless," she whispered to Awolowo. "The balance of power shifts and the fate of our kingdom hangs in the balance." Awolowo's eyes gleamed with understanding. The time of reckoning approaches. Lucas must be prepared. Meanwhile, Lucas received a mysterious message: "Meet me at the old oak tree in the forest. Come alone." The handwriting was unfamiliar, but the urgency was unmistakable. Lucas's heart pounded as he made his way to the rendezvous. Under the ancient oak's twisted branches, a figure emerged from the darkness. "Lucas Olawale, you're the last of our line," the stranger said, eyes burning with intensity. "The Ajibu Kingdom will support your claim, but at a price." The stranger's words hung in the air like a challenge. Lucas's mind raced with questions. What did they want in return? And what did they mean by our line? "Who are you?" Lucas demanded. The stranger's smile revealed a hint of mischief. "I am Adekunle, Prince of the Ajibu Kingdom. Our families have been bound by blood and betrayal for generations.